Brought to you by Gamezy. Win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Download the app now.
In our in-depth analysis of each IPL team, now we are going to be featuring Lucknow Super Giants, one of the two new teams on the block, and the big questions related to them. That's what we try and address. And how is it that the team will look to answer that or counter that? That will be our focus in this particular edition of our program. But before we look at those three big questions, joining me as always is Rahul Rawat. Let's listen in to our in-house expert in Sunny Gavaskar, and what does he make of this new franchise?
This also is a team which, because of the fact that it's a new team, the expectations will be a lot less because it's a new team, inexperienced in as much as playing a tournament like that. But of course, there are players who played in the tournament. They've also got as a mentor, they've got Gautam Gambhir, who has been captain twice of the Kolkata Knight Riders, which won the trophy. So they have experience on their side with the support staff, and that experience actually can help make Rahul, for example. Rahul is a fabulous player in the T20 format, but he hasn't been able to lift his team up when he played for Punjab. So maybe this time around with Gautam Gambhir backing him, it might make the difference. But yes, I think Lucknow Super Giants will have to play very, very well to win the trophy this time around.
Sunny Gavaskar there, Rahul, talking about the fact that, we keep looking at the team, but he's saying there is a Gautam Gambhir there who's their mentor. He has had experience of winning in the IPL, and that experience might look good or work in their favor going forward. But my first big question looking at this team is, does being a new team hurt their chances? Because every other team, see, the team is not about just the players, but the backroom staff, the management, everything. And
they don't have a core basically.
And they also not a culture yet. Exactly. They will have to set all of that.
They'll have to develop.
Does it hamper their chances?
It can, it cannot. Because at times, you start from scratch.
Yeah.
You have everything to win. You don't have anything to lose. But
no expectations.
But given the fact that everybody is talking about this team, this is perhaps the easiest team to put when you select an 11. This is perhaps the easiest team, and that may or may not work in their favor. But as of now I would believe that they can.
Yeah, I'd have to concur with him. I think that yes, it's a new franchise, but sometime it all depends on the kind of players that are part of this team, and the players are all experienced, so they know.
Exactly.
They have title winning players in their rank. They have Gambhir as their mentor, and we know that Gambhir has been playing a very active role in this team, and I know that going forward he'll be very active in decision making. So I think all of that will
and in every team that there's a famous dialogue from a Shah Rukh Khan movie that is
हर टीम में एक ही गुंडा होता है और इस टीम का गुंडा मैं
that's from Chak De. But इस टीम का गुंडा I think would be Gautam Gambhir, not KL Rahul, not anybody, because the kind of and there's nothing wrong with that. Gautam Gambhir, after all, there were times.
Gunda is not in a negative connotation. Gunda meaning the boss. This time.
Yes, I think Gautam Gambhir will be the boss of this team, and rightly so. Although KL Rahul will perhaps have more freedom compared to what he had with Punjab Kings, which he has.
That to any team you compare with Punjab Kings, you will have more freedom.
No, not really. not really. A lot of other teams also.
Like?
No, there could be other teams also.
Take the name.
Maybe, is it because of Anil Kumble, or is it because whatever has happened?
No, because of the history of the
franchise.
Right. Everyone who goes there,
everyone
is like
KL Rahul.
Haath jod ke they say.
Exactly. So, but Gautam Gambhir, there were times when Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings would win majority of the seasons, and during that period, Gautam Gambhir won KKR 2 titles. So that's maybe he knows how to win games and seasons and tournaments.
Question number 2, answer that. When we were making our 11, you can see that video. It's up on Sports Today. When we are making likely 11s of each team, we've also made Lucknow's team. Just extending that question, Manish Pandey was part of our team. What role do you think Manish Pandey will play in this team?
Manish Pandey will play a similar kind of role what Shikhar Dhawan would play for Punjab Kings.
But Shikhar is open.
No problems. See, because I think they've got a lot of firepower in this batting lineup, especially the top 4. They've got a lot of firepower.
Yes,
You
yes.
don't have any replacement for Manish Pandey. He perhaps, fits the bill right there at number 3. We
So
can say Manan Vora is another.
So you're saying the role is of that of an anchor?
Yes, yes, anchor.
I agree. I
Because
think
with
you will
with Sunrisers Hyderabad, there were too many players who could play similar to Manish Pandey, even Kane Williamson for that matter.
Yeah.
So you don't want.
and the one who could shift gears, David Warner, was
Yes,
gone down in form.
exactly.
So I think all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, all of that affected. Yeah, true. I agree with Rahul. I think they need an anchor. I know his strike rate has come under scrutiny in the past, but he can play big knocks. Yes. That's one good thing. And here he can afford to be at 100, 105, 106 kind of a strike rate, 110, whatever, because everyone else is a dasher. So you will need someone to hold the innings together.
And his running between the wickets. I think even if
Fielding.
he can, yes, that's a he can easily save 10-15 runs with his fielding and running bit. If he can convert those ones into twos, threes would be a little difficult here. But then even if those runs are not coming, those big boundaries are not coming, he can still rotate the strike. So Manish Pandey, he'll have to be told what exactly his role is, and then go ahead with it.
Third question may surprise a lot of people, but that's what we do, is surprise our viewers. We throw those questions that need to be answered. And my third question is, do you think spin is Lucknow's weak link? And I know that they'll have 4 spinning options in their team, or at least 3. I'm just going to name them. There'll be Ravi Bishnoi, there may be Krishnappa Gautam who plays, or they go with a fast bowler, let's say, assuming they play him also. And then they got 2 all-rounders in Krunal Pandya and Deepak Hooda, right? So 4 options. But why I'm saying a weak link, just to explain, and a lot of people may not agree, is the fact that Ravi Bishnoi is still a newcomer. We know that he did well in the few chances he got in international cricket, but a lot of people are beginning to realize he's just a googly bowler,
Right.
and people are finding him out. And towards the end of that international season, he started getting hit also. Now team would know him better now that he's been there for a few seasons. That, and also lack of experience, you'd have to consider. Krishnappa Gautam also not one of the top class spinners. Kunal Pandya, Deepak Hooda, more of batting all-rounders, I would say. They may bowl 4 overs but are not. So I'm saying there is not like a one, wow kind of a spinner in your team. There's no Yuzi Chahal or a Rashid Khan, or do you think that's their weak link?
But I think Ravi Bishnoi being there is not a bad idea.
No, not a bad idea at all.
He's forced his way into the Indian team, into the Indian 11. He's done reasonably well. He was bowling in tandem with Yuzi Chahal. The other spin options that you mentioned, Krunal Pandya, you may not necessarily see him finishing his full quota of 4 overs. Deepak Hooda may or may not bowl at all. Krunal Pandya, if he is finishing his quota of 4 overs, there will be those days when he's already got a good start from the other bowlers. They'll be heavily dependent on Ravi Bishnoi. If he is put under attack, then you might be right to a great extent. But they still have a better spin attack than a lot of other teams. Trust me.
Yeah, maybe some might say we're nitpicking, but that's our job, right? To look at every team very, very closely, and that's the purpose of these videos that we're making, analyzing each and every IPL team. Thanks so much for watching. Before we wrap up, here's a reminder, don't forget to download the Gamezy app, and you stand a chance to win up to 5 crore in prize money daily. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today as well.